Do you think we should bring in, allow more migrants into New Zealand?
Yes.
Do we treat the current ones well, do you think?
No.
We don't treat them well.
Not all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you think?
Well, I think we should allow our migrants to come in. There's jobs that have to be done. We have to make sure that there's skills to match, that there's jobs to match. We need to make sure that Kiwis who are already here, especially those on the lowest rungs of the ladder, are not being pushed even further down. And
where are you from?
I'm originally from the United States, but I'm actually a Green Party candidate for Waitaki.
Now, if you don't want that, I walk off the program.
But isn't it a fact that
do you want that or don't you? I am not going to go on arguing with you on a thing that I did not come here to discuss.
Mr. Tizard, your own Prime Minister has said that the way in which
the
way in which this was done does not look good.
I am not going to discuss that with you. I made that clear to you.
The man behind the fist wants to be known only as Craig. He's a skate judge and artist, and he deeply regrets the moment he snapped and attacked these young skaters.
This is a skate park, get out! If I could have stopped him any other way, I think I would have taken that option. But it was an instant reaction. I knew there was little kids behind me, and I just lurched at him to stop him.
He said his targets weren't part of the competition, but were skating into 6-year-olds who were. He asked them to stop several times.
He continued to do it. Him and another one continued to cut through and cut people off and look, I snapped. I wanted him to stop.
No. Don't touch kids. No, just listen to me. Get out.
Just down the road from the main drag, we caught up with Julie, who owns a 2-bedroom apartment in this charming steel and concrete complex.
I've lived in Ponsonby probably 26 years. Ponsonby is my tūranga waiwai. It's very, very diverse, even though there has been an influx of what you might call middle-class people.
Like many Aucklanders, Julie is a big fan of diversity, and there's no better example than the apartment block she lives in. On the first floor alone, you'll find Chinese, Thai, Swedish, Pākehā, Māori, Korean, and even Russians. The only problem is, they're all prostitutes.
Even though the other 2 cases out of the 3 were not homosexual.
No, the incidence, if you're looking about the incidence in terms of the increase of HIV and AIDS, you'll find that it's more prevalent in male homosexual relationships than it is elsewhere. If you were to look, see, we've got Claudette here. Now, Claudette is a lesbian, right? Now, on that basis, you could ask her the question: do lesbians, okay, in the lesbian world, do they have a strong proclivity to passing on HIV/AIDS? And that's a question you should ask her rather than me.
Security was tight around Northland's private Cody Cliffs Golf Club, a no-fly zone in place. Any hopes of a glimpse of the Obama key foursome rested on a roadside stakeout adjacent to the 13th fairway. Patience was rewarded. After a couple of warm-up swings, lefty Barack Obama nailing his approach shot. The sponsors giving us the close-up. Sir John Key, the next to play. On the green, Mr Obama with an agonising miss, blame it on the jet lag, but Craig Heatley with the gracious gimme. While Cody Cliffs wouldn't comment on the big names, one golfer was thrilled to learn who he'd shared the course with.
I would love to see him and tell him that we miss him. You know what I mean?
Northlanders too excited in their understated way.
Feels pretty nice, and I appreciate a big man that's coming to our backyard.
Oh, it's pretty different, eh? Never seen people like that around here.
Hey! Hey, you guys!
While we were filming, what appeared to be a tour group, possibly escorted by a guide, came through the property.
So they obviously knew they were on private property, didn't they?
Yeah, well, they just ran away, didn't they? But why are you trespassing on my land? Why are you trespassing on my land? Are you going to talk to me? This is what we have to put up with. It's like
I said, nothing to say, and harassing people's illegals.
What?
You found someone you call the police.
Hey.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
Come and talk to me.
All right.
Right, first up, we'd like to introduce you to one of our most experienced entertainers. You know, he's got a huge variety of roles behind him, not only as an actor with the Sullivans, he's been in musicals such as The Pirates of Penzance, of course. He's been in Hair as well. He's currently appearing on our screens in Marlin Bay and also in Phoenix. Would you give a warm welcome, please, to Mr. Andy Anderson.
Thank you.
Well, with the career credits you've had, Andy, it's quite amazing what you've done over the years. And how do you sort of fit in time to play Wheel of Fortune or be with us tonight? It's amazing.
It's my favourite show, really, on television. We sit at home and try and get it all right. We're sitting there saying, why isn't everyone getting the letters? And I thought, well, I'll come and try it myself.
When did it all begin for Andy Anderson as an actor?
Well, as an actor, as a musician, it started at Nine College just down the road in a band called, the college band called Tom and the Cats. But I think the acting started when I burned out my throat and went into radio waves.
Oh, radio waves?
That's quite a long time ago.
That is a long... That'll be in the mid-70s,
Yeah, playing an acid casualty disc jockey.
The hair hasn't changed that much, has it?
Not a lot, no. It's getting thinner.
Andy, it's
and greyer.
Good to see you here, and I wish you well with Wheel of Fortune.
Thank you, Philip.
There are plenty of high officials in Wellington, but Brosco the Robo's 9'6" overshadows them all. Outside the Wellington Town Hall, Mr. Kitts, the mayor, voted him the city's brightest, shiniest citizen, spoke a few words of welcome on his built-in loudspeaker, and gave him the freedom of the city.
Many chose to be outdoors, taking advantage of the long weekend. Well, it's just gone 2 o'clock, and while some people I've spoken to said they would be observing the nationwide minute of silence, most people here in Auckland are just enjoying an extra rare day off. Some took to the beach.
It's great. No school. Woohoo!
And some to the mall.
Just doing a little bit of shopping and enjoying the day.
It's pretty sad that the Queen died though, so like, yeah, but the day off is pretty cool.
Others crowded cafes.
Where the earlier agents had been sent under with little or no training, by this time the focus had shifted to preparing them for every aspect of the underworld.
When I was doing my seminar and I could smell cannabis burning, I realised that one of my good friends actually smoked cannabis and had never told me, and they just realised I didn't know, and it made sense why they suddenly found everything funny and why they wanted to eat everything in the house. None of it meant anything to me before my seminar.
Recruits were closely watched by operators like Detective Wayne Stringer, who competed with each other to hire the agents most suited to their operation.
You take them to a seminar and you turn them into criminals. You have to turn them into criminals. And they've got to be thinking like criminals, acting like criminals.
I didn't smoke cigarettes at the time, and I thought smoking was just sucking into your mouth and blowing it out. So the first night I thought, shit, this is easy. I can handle this stuff, no problem. I know it sounds silly, but it's sort of like James Bond, you know, secret agents. Well, we were secret agents. That's what it was all about.
Recruits were coached by experienced agents, and despite Wayne's James Bond aspirations, they soon spotted his shabby attempt at simulation.
They shotgunned me. Man, you have to inhale from that. Well, I couldn't walk after a while. They had to carry me around.
Tua tui ngā mahi o kawa, I whakaritea kia tūtaki ia Biden ki ngā kai tākoro o te kapa o Pango.
Me and Coach, I'm ready to play.
He tangata tākoro hoki ia I tētahi wā.
In my rugby career, I played rugby for 1 year when I was in law school. I played college football and high school football, but rugby only for a year.
Come. The centre of the story, arriving into the eye of the storm.
How are you feeling coming in this morning?
Oh, I'm okay, thank you. Jackie Dean, the woman on the receiving end of inappropriate comments made by Simon Bridges.
When were these comments made and what did Simon Bridges say to you?
I'll be talking together with our leader at 10 o'clock today. That was the plan until it wasn't. Last night, Judith Collins lobbed a grenade into her party, releasing a late-night statement demoting Simon Bridges after what she called an allegation of serious misconduct. But the political grenade blew up in her face. Instead of fronting a press conference, she faced a vote of no confidence.
Do you have the numbers? It's a matter of principle. Every woman, every man should feel safe in their workplace. And what is really important is that you don't deal with allegations by sweeping them under the carpet.
Simon Bridges forced to fess up.
I can remember talking about the fact I have 2 boys and I wanted a girl, and I engaged in some old wives' tales about that and how to have a girl, and I entirely accept and are regretful of that day because I acknowledge that some of what I said was clearly inappropriate.
News Hub understands the comments were made in a group which included disgraced former MP Jamie Lee Ross and Todd McClay. It's an allegation that you were with Simon Bridges when the comments were made to Jackie Dean?
So I'm not aware of any comment. I have no recollection of any comment.
Bridges remembers but won't repeat it.
What exactly did he say?
I don't think it's helpful to give you the words, but there's been media comment and it's pretty much on the money.
A warning, this is unpleasant. His wording was along these lines. Hey Jackie, we've been talking about how to have a daughter. Do you think I should do long, slow strokes or short, hard strokes?
Is it not helpful to say what it was because you recognise it's deeply offensive?
I recognise it was inappropriate.
Jackie Dean is not one of the most well-known in the caucus, perhaps made more of a splash as a former host of Play School. She's now Assistant Speaker.